Appreciate you trying to do that, but I love that, and it talks so much, doesn't it, to what we're talking about. Remember when all Michael Jackson and a whole gang of them got up there, and I watched the video, and it just like opened my heart up as I saw Cyndi Lauper up there, you know, and everybody, and you did a nice job. Thank you for that. I'll tell you, we are the world, and that's what this whole month we've been talking about, compassion. And if we're going to really get it, we've got to include ourselves, you know, to reach out beyond who we are, from the me to the we. And there's a word, and I've talked about it before, but the word is a South African term called Ubuntu. Ubuntu. And I want to talk about that word today because it's so powerful. What it means is, I am because we are. I am. And that's so, if you take something away today, take that, because you are because everybody is. Does that make sense? That we are so connected. And this song is such a reflection of this idea of Ubuntu. It's a South African, I guess, Mandela used the word a lot and kind of brought it back. And I want to tell a story. I think Judy's told the story before, but it really exemplifies what Ubuntu is about. And it's about a little tribe of African kids that an anthropologist was visiting one day. And he put a basket of fruit underneath the tree. And he said to the little group of kids, you know, okay, we're going to have a race. And he said, the first one who gets to the fruit gets all of it for themselves. And then he goes, on your mark, get set, go. They all get up, they grab hands, and they run together. They sit down, and they enjoy this beautiful fruit together. And the anthropologist says, I don't understand, you know, why didn't one of you, why didn't you run after it? Why didn't you get the fruit? It could have been all yours. And what they said was, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. How can one of us be happy if all the other ones are sad? Does that just like, that opens my heart. I told my grandkids that, you know, and it was kind of neat. I mean, I think they have got the idea. They said it's about sharing, and I said, you're going to learn that word, and so am I, because it's a huge, huge word. It's about what we're talking about this month, about love. It's about compassion. It's about living it, experiencing it in the world. It's what Mother Teresa is all about. And I have a little saying, what she said. She said, you know, let us not use bombs and guns to overcome the world. Let us love, and let us have love and compassion. Today, if we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. That every woman, man, and child is my brother and is my sister. We forget that, don't we? That we're connected that way. You know, if everyone could see the image of God in his neighbor, do you think we would still need tanks and generals? Really, think about that. Peace and war begin here. Peace and war begin within us. If we truly want peace in the world, let us begin by loving one another and starting with our own families. It was Mother Teresa, and that was profound. And each one of us, you know, that's what we're called to do, is begin with the person right next to you. Actually, no. Begin with yourself. Begin with loving you so that you can love other people. You know, and that's what this whole series has been about. You know, it's about compassion, because I'll tell you, we will change the world. We'll change the world when we can be compassionate within ourselves. That's how it's going to change. You know, when we start to see not only the differences in the world, and there's many differences, but when we start to see our sameness, you know, when we start to see what we have in common. And the truth is, what we all have in common is that we all want to be loved, don't we? That's what, there isn't a person on earth. They act out differently. It might look differently, but they want to be loved, and we all want to be loved. They all want to be whole. They yearn to be whole. All of us are seeking. They might not call it God, but that's what I'm calling it. Everybody is yearning for God, for the wholeness of what is. There's all of us that have a little piece of us missing. Sometimes we have big pieces missing, and that's what we have in common. We're all looking for that to make us whole. That's what we have. We're all connected at the core. That's what we all have in common. There isn't any of us that aren't one, that isn't connected. If we looked at all of the wisdom of the last 2,000 years, and probably way beyond that, I could say 7,000 years. That's when the Vedas actually were. You would take the sages and the seers and the philosophers, and then you took the knowledge of all of the modern thinkers, the scientists that are out now, the poets, the philosophers, the futurists, it would all reveal one truth. Do you know that? One truth, and that truth would be that we are one and that we are connected. And that's what science is finding out, how connected that we really are. And it makes a difference, that we are connected to everything, that we're not separate. And when we get that, not just at the head level, right? We talk about that all the time over one. But when we experience it, it changes who we are. We realize that we aren't separate from each other, that we are one. That Vedanta is a tradition that says we're a manifestation of the one, right? Out of the many, out of the one came the many, is what they say. The Christians call it the body of Christ. We're all a body, part of the body of Christ. Quantum physics calls it one big quantum soup. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're talking about each of us have the energy of this incredible power running through us. Tagore said the energy that flows through your body is the same energy that governs all of nature. The same stream of life, this gives me tingles, the same stream of life that runs through me, my veins, is the same stream of life that lights the world on fire, that shoots love and joy through the blades of grass and breaks into waves of leaves and flowers. That's the energy of the universe. If you look outside and you see, the beautiful trees, that's what we're talking about. That energy that created that is the energy that is in you. I mean, how powerful is that? When you see a flower blossom, when you see the little animals on the video, when we see each other, that energy runs through all of us. That's the energy, the intelligence, the love of God in every single one of us that empowers us to go forth and have this compassion in the world. Why is that important to us? Because it's that field of love that connects all of us, and it's who we really are. And when we get it, it thrills me. It just thrills me. Sometimes I lay there at night, and I can just feel it run through my body and thinking that what's running through me is running through you at night. Right? The same thing, to the extent that we can realize it. I mean, it's running through all of us, right? But sometimes we don't get it, and then when we do, wow, our lives change. Our vibration just raises. We're thinking, wow, we are connected. We are each other. I mean, I'm thinking if we can really get this, you guys, at this level that we are connected, take this away today because it's so important. We would see our world differently, our environment. We wouldn't just chop down trees the way that we do. We wouldn't look at crime and we would do things differently if we knew we were connected. If you knew everybody was a part of you, you would treat people differently. If you really got it at a cell level, that's you you're looking at, everything would change. And it's not enough just to say it or to feel it or to think it here. We got to embody it. We've got to feel it. That's what Marianne Williamson says. I love her book, Divine Compensation. We're going to be using it next month a lot. But what she says is, and this makes so much sense to me, is that the universe is like a house that is wired for electricity, but we are the unplugged lamps. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Imagine the universe, is this big body of energy, and we're unplugged from it. But the moment that we plug in and get in contact with that energy, our lives are different. They change. It gives us power. It breaks open our heart to love and to be connected. We act from love. See, that energy that we're plugging into is the energy and intelligence of love. And it's not some woo-woo energy. This is an intelligent energy that runs the universe. That runs the universe and lights us up. It's knowing. See, when we are plugged in, we know that the universe is supporting us and supporting everybody else. We know our purpose. And we know that everybody has a purpose. Every single person has a purpose, whether they know it or not. And that purpose is to realize their divine, to know it, and to know that they have a right to be here. There isn't anybody or anything that doesn't have a right to be here. Any insect? Everything has a right to live if it's here, And all we need to do is plug in our heart to the universe, because love is our natural state of being. And when we're in that state of being, we're connected, we're kind, we're loving, we're part of the energy of God. There isn't a greater place to be in the whole world. And when we know that we're not just serving ourselves, that we're serving all of humanity, right? And you get up in the morning and you go out and do your stuff. Your way of being in the world serves humanity. your smile, your connection, with other people, your kindness. That's what you're here for. That's what serves humanity. Your life is your ministry. And we talk about that, Judy and I say, everybody's a minister. We, kind of just pass it off, but that's powerful. You are a minister. We just happen to have a credential, big deal. You're the same thing. When you talk to your family, when you are out talking to the banker or the clerks in the stores, you are the minister. The way you are, when there are problems on the phone with, the banking, you are the minister. To minister to them the love of who you are and share it and embody it. We're all ministers, and the people in your life are your congregation, basically. They're the people that you're seeing. They're the people that will help your soul grow. You are the people that will help my soul grow. Does that make sense? Not only when you're perfect, but when you don't act perfect, right? That's the way the kids, my grandkids, when they're acting up and stuff, they're my greatest teachers. You don't have to be perfect. I love you the way you are, and it helps me to grow. And that's the way it is with each of us in our life, the people, that are like that. You have to be able to accept it all. Break open your heart with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Marianne Williamson says the purpose of every relationship is the healing of the world. Wow. Every relationship in your life. And that's your soul growth. Why did it come to you? It comes to you so that you can heal yourself and in turn heal the world. That's big stuff. Big stuff. And yet, every moment you're faced with that relationship. Not just with each other and your marriages, or your friendships, but with the people that you meet out in the world. Your work, your family life, your relationships, everything is your spiritual practice. Everything. This is not a random universe. Those people are in your life for a reason. In your life. And ultimately, the big cosmic joke is that you chose it all. You chose it to learn and to love. It's your divine assignment. So, what my prayer and what my call for each of you to do is look at those people in your life. Maybe here's what I do. You can do it in the morning, but I do it when I go to bed at night. I see everybody through the day that I came in contact with. And I look at them, and I pray for them. And I say, what am I to learn from you? And sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's painful, when there's something that you need to learn. But it's important for us because that's our opportunities for soul growth, is to see the people in your life, to bless them, to forgive them if you need to, or let them forgive you, to apologize, That's what we do when we plug into the universe. This gives us the opportunity for soul growth, and that's my deep, deep prayer for all of us, is that we live this Ubuntu spirit, this spirit where it's not just about I, but it's about all of us. I am because we are. Thank you.